A real man is consistent, not when it's convenient, not when it benefits him, not when everything's going his way. He's consistent all the time. Because consistency isn't just about showing up on a date or sending a few texts. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's how he carries himself in everything he does, from his commitments to his character. When a man is consistent, you don't have to wake up wondering where you stand with him. You don't have to reread messages looking for clues. You're not sitting around trying to decode silence. Because his behavior is solid, predictable in the best way. That doesn't mean boring. It means dependable. You can trust that when he says something, he means it. When he promises something, he follows through. That's how you know you're not dealing with someone who's just temporarily interested. You're dealing with someone who's invested. Consistency shows up in the small things. It's not just about the grand gestures. It's the good morning text that comes every morning, not just when he's in a good mood. It's checking in because he genuinely cares, not because he's bored or lonely. It's following through on his word even when no one's watching. A real man doesn't disappear when life gets stressful. He doesn't pull away because he's afraid of feelings. He stays. He communicates. He adjusts, but he doesn't retreat. You know he's present, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. The man who is consistent doesn't rely on charm to keep you interested. He lets his actions speak louder than his words. You don't have to ask him twice. You don't have to remind him of your value because he already sees it and he acts like it every single day. And here's the thing. Consistency reveals character. A man who can be consistent with you is a man who is disciplined in other areas of his life. He handles his responsibilities. He respects time, his and yours. He doesn't operate on impulse. He doesn't vanish when things don't go his way. That's emotional maturity. That's self-control. There's no room for confusion when you're dealing with a consistent man. He doesn't play hot and cold. He doesn't make you feel amazing one day and invisible the next. You don't find yourself questioning whether you did something wrong because his actions don't fluctuate with his mood. His consistency builds security. And security is something every woman deserves. Not to be begging for clarity, not to be wondering what version of him you'll get today. A real man removes the guesswork. You know where you stand because he shows you, not with occasional effort, but with steady dedication. And let's be honest, consistency takes effort. It's not flashy. It's not always exciting. That's why a lot of men skip it. They can be intense in the beginning, but they can't sustain it. A man might say all the right things for a week, maybe even a month, but if he doesn't have it in him to maintain that energy, he was never serious in the first place. A real man doesn't start strong only to fade. He starts strong and stays strong because he knows love isn't proven in how loud you are on day one. It's proven in how loyal you are when the honeymoon phase fades. Consistency is where intention lives. It's how a man shows that he's not here for convenience, he's here for commitment. Even when he's tired, even when he's busy, even when he's overwhelmed, he makes the call, he sends the text, he follows through, and he doesn't make excuses because he knows that inconsistency breeds insecurity, and he'd never want the woman he cares about to question her worth because of his silence. So if you find a man whose words and actions align every day, not just when he's trying to impress you, not just when he feels like it, but as a reflection of who he is, you are looking at a man who is rooted, grounded, intentional. And that kind of consistency, that's rare, that's powerful, that's real. He respects you in public and private That means he doesn't just act right when people are watching. He's not putting on a show for social media, pretending to be the perfect partner just to impress the world. His respect is real, rooted deep, and it shows whether the cameras are on or off. A man who truly respects you carries that respect into every room, every conversation, and every moment, whether you're right beside him or miles away. You can tell the difference between a man who's performative and one who's genuine. The performative one will post a picture with you on Instagram, but be entertaining other women in the DMs. He'll say all the right things in front of your friends, but talk down to you behind closed doors. But the man who respects you, he's the same man at dinner with your family, in the car with you alone, and on a business trip without you. His behavior doesn't shift based on who's around. He doesn't show off love, he lives it. Real respect is deeper than politeness. It's not just opening a door or saying please and thank you. It's how he listens when you speak. It's how he pauses when you're hurting. It's how he handles disagreements. Without yelling, without belittling, without shutting down or storming off, he doesn't weaponize your emotions. He doesn't use your past against you. When you open up to him, he sees it as a gift, not a weakness. That kind of man values your voice and doesn't talk over it. He lets you be heard because he understands that your opinion is not a threat, it's a strength. Respect in private means he doesn't cross the lines you set. He honors your boundaries, even the unspoken ones. He doesn't pressure you, manipulate you, or guilt you into things you're uncomfortable with. He doesn't make you feel like love is a transaction. He sees your no as a full sentence. He understands that trust is built in silence too, not just when words are flowing, but when actions are steady. A man who respects you privately protects your dignity in the most intimate spaces. Even in vulnerability, you feel safe, not judged. When he respects you, he also protects your name when you're not around. He doesn't allow disrespectful talk about you in any circle. He won't laugh at jokes that make you the punchline. He won't entertain conversations that cross the line. He speaks highly of you, not just to you, but to others. His friends, his family, his co-workers, they all know how he feels about you, not because he brags, but because he makes it clear through how he talks and what he tolerates. He defends your reputation because he sees you as part of his life, not a temporary option. Respect isn't about fear, it's about admiration. A real man doesn't respect you just to avoid consequences. He respects you because he sees your value. Your admiration respects you so that your value. The system only knows your circumstances. He respects you because he sees your value. This system only knows your circumstances. He respects you because he sees your value. He's not walking on eggshells. He's walking in awareness. He knows that having a strong woman in his life is a blessing, not a challenge to his pride. He's not intimidated by your independence. He supports it. He doesn't try to dim your light to make his shine brighter. He celebrates your growth, your opinions, your passions. He claps when you win, not because he's supposed to, but because he genuinely wants to see you happy. In private, you can tell the difference by how he treats your presence. He puts his phone down when you're talking. He looks you in the eye. He doesn't make you compete for attention. Even when no one's watching, he chooses to be present. That shows you where his priorities are. A man who respects you doesn't flirt with other women under the table. He doesn't hide his conversations. He's transparent because he's got nothing to hide and everything to build. Respect builds trust, and trust builds peace. And when a woman feels at peace with a man, she can give him the softest, most loyal, most beautiful version of herself. Respect shows up when you're not at your best too. When you're tired, emotional, or overwhelmed, he doesn't dismiss you. He doesn't call you too much. He doesn't get annoyed by your feelings. He checks in, he listens, he tries to understand, and he does it without making you feel like a burden. That's real love. That's real manhood. That's the kind of respect that doesn't need applause. It just shows up again and again without fail. He brings peace, not problems. That means his presence in your life feels like a deep breath, not a storm. You don't brace yourself every time he calls. You don't second guess his tone or try to decode his silence. When a man brings peace, you feel it in your spirit. He doesn't just make your heart race, he makes your soul rest. You can relax around him, not because everything's perfect, but because he doesn't add to the chaos life already brings. He becomes your safe place, not another source of stress. A man who brings peace doesn't raise his voice to dominate. He doesn't throw insults like weapons. He doesn't walk away in silence just to punish you. He communicates with calm, even when emotions run high. He knows that solving the problem is more important than proving a point. He doesn't aim to win arguments, he aims to protect the relationship. That's what peace looks like. Not perfection, but priority. He prioritizes understanding over ego, patience over pressure. He brings peace because he's secure in himself. He doesn't need to control you to feel powerful. He doesn't make you earn his love every day. He doesn't compete with you, compare you, or criticize you to keep you small. He knows who he is, and that makes him a steady foundation. His confidence isn't loud, it's stable. He doesn't need to make noise to prove his worth. His energy is calm, and that calm becomes contagious. When he's around, your anxiety doesn't flare up. You don't walk on eggshells. You walk in freedom. Peace shows up in how he handles life's challenges. He doesn't collapse under pressure or take his stress out on you. He shares, he processes, he works through it with you, not against you. He includes you in his world without making his burdens yours to carry alone. He doesn't disappear when life gets hard. He stays present, not because it's easy, but because he's committed. He doesn't project his fears onto you. He doesn't punish you for his past. He knows healing doesn't mean perfection, but it does mean responsibility. He takes accountability for his emotions instead of turning you into his emotional punching bag. A peaceful man brings consistency. You don't wonder who you're going to get each day. His mood isn't unpredictable. His actions aren't all over the place. You know how he feels about you because he shows you not with random highs, but with steady love. That emotional consistency is what gives your heart room to trust. You don't flinch when his name lights up your phone. You don't sit in silence waiting for an apology that never comes. Because peace means he respects your mind, your emotions, and your time. He brings peace by honoring your space. He doesn't overwhelm you with drama or dump every negative emotion onto you. He knows how to share without sinking the ship. He understands boundaries not as rejection, but as protection. He gives you time to breathe, think, and be yourself. He doesn't need to be in control of your every move to seek your answer. He understands that judgment. He supports your independence without making it a threat. He brings peace because he doesn't make love conditional. You don't feel like you have to earn it every day by proving your worth. He sees your value and treats it like something sacred, not negotiable. In his silence, there's comfort. You don't need constant noise to feel secure. Just sitting next to him feels like home. He doesn't try to entertain or impress every second. He just shows up, fully present. that presence, that stillness, that unspoken understanding. That's peace. And when you're with a man who brings peace, your body knows it before your mind does. You stop clenching your jaw. You sleep better. You smile without effort. That's not magic. It's emotional safety. He doesn't create confusion. He doesn't gaslight you. He doesn't twist words or shift blame. He speaks truthfully even when it's hard because he respects you enough to be honest. He owns his mistakes. He learns from them. And he makes you feel like a partner, not a problem. He listens, not just to respond, but to understand. And when you express your needs, he doesn't dismiss them. He adapts. Because he wants peace for you just as much as he wants it for himself. He brings peace because he's not fighting battles within himself that spill over into the relationship. He's not perfect, but he's intentional. He doesn't just want to be with you, he wants to be good for you. And when a man reaches that level of emotional maturity, you feel it in everything he does. You don't just feel loved, you feel safe. He's driven by purpose. That means he's not out here just going through the motions, living day by day without direction. He wakes up with intention. He's not waiting for life to happen. He's building a life on purpose. A man like that isn't content with just existing. He wants to grow. He wants to evolve. He wants to leave something behind that matters. You can see it in the way he moves, in the way he talks, in the way he shows up in every space. He's got something bigger than himself pulling him forward. When a man is led by purpose, you feel it. He doesn't chase distractions. He doesn't waste time chasing validation. He's not trying to be everything to everyone. He's focused. And that focus is magnetic. It's not just about career or money. It's about mission. It's about knowing why he's here and what kind of impact he wants to make. Purpose gives his life structure. It's the foundation beneath everything he does. And when you're with a man like that, you feel secure. Not because he's perfect, but because he's grounded. He knows where he's going, and he's not afraid to take you with him. Being driven by purpose also means he doesn't fold under pressure. He's not easily distracted by the noise of the world. He doesn't lose himself trying to keep up with what everyone else is doing. He's carved his own lane, and he's staying in it. That kind of man doesn't need to impress people. He's too busy making progress. You won't catch him hopping from one idea to the next with no follow-through. When he starts something, he finishes it. When he sets a goal, he works toward it. That's discipline, and discipline is the engine of purpose. This kind of drive spills over into how he loves too. A man with purpose doesn't just want to date for fun, he dates with clarity. He's not trying to waste your time. He's not stringing you along. He knows what he wants in a partner because he already knows who he is. He's not looking for someone to complete him. He's looking for someone to build with him. That's the difference between a boy playing games and a man building legacy. He sees relationships as a part of his journey, not a distraction from it. He's intentional with his words, his time, and his energy. You won't find him involved in petty drama. He's got too much on the line to be pulled into nonsense. He values peace because it helps him stay focused. He surrounds himself with people who sharpen him. He cuts off what doesn't align with his path, not because he's cold, but because he's serious. And when a man is serious about his life, he's serious about who he lets into it. If he's chosen you, he's already seen how you fit into the bigger picture he's building. He may not have it all figured out, but he's always moving forward. Progress over perfection. He's not afraid of setbacks because he understands they're part of the climb. Purpose doesn't make the road easy, but it gives him the strength to keep going when things get hard. You'll see him stay up late, chasing a vision. You'll hear the passion in his voice when he talks about what he loves. You'll feel the fire in his spirit when he's locked in on his calling. That fire can't be faked. It's something real, something rooted, something rare. You'll never have to worry about motivating a man who's already self-motivated. He doesn't need you to light his fire. He just needs you to walk beside him. He's not looking for someone to carry his dreams. He's looking for someone who dreams too. A man driven by purpose inspires you by how he lives. He doesn't just talk about doing better, he actually does it. He doesn't just dream about success, he sacrifices for it. You watch him grind, grow, stretch, and you realize that being with him means your own growth becomes inevitable. His purpose pushes you to tap into yours. He's not idle. He's not comfortable settling for average. Even on his worst days, he's thinking long term. He doesn't see life as something that just happens to him. He sees himself as the architect of his future. And in that mindset, there's power. Real power, not the kind that comes from control, but the kind that comes from clarity. A man who knows his why can withstand almost any how. His strength doesn't come from muscles, it comes from mission. And when you stand beside a man like that, you're not just witnessing greatness, you're walking with it